once again here on Kababayan LA, and that's why we're giving you free tickets to the LA County Fair. Here's a chance to win, and it's so easy. All you need to do is like us on Facebook, Kababayan LA 18. We are drawing winners on Friday, announcing 5 winners of 4 tickets each to the LA County Fair. It's a day of fun, food, entertainment, different rides, as you can see. Very exciting, and you get in for free if you win our LA County Fair ticket giveaway here on Kababayan LA. You have today until tomorrow to like us on Facebook, Kababayan LA 18. Meanwhile, today on the show, as promised earlier, immigration update.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Richard Lowe is joining us today on Kababayan LA. Hello and welcome to Kababayan LA.
Hello, how are you?
You are going to talk to us about Violence Against Women Act because they celebrated their 18th anniversary on September 13th, and this has a lot to do with immigration as well. Tell us the connection.
Well, the VAWA was very expansive, and what it was trying to do was to bring together all the sort of disparate organizations that were working to help women in who are having problems with domestic violence. And one of the other parts of it also affected immigration, that is, people who were immigrants who were not legally in the United States, for example, but were abused by their spouse, could get some relief, could be able to stay here legally and go on with their lives despite the fact that they had been abused. And
I know that domestic violence is somehow prevalent in our community, especially in the Asian community. We don't talk about it because we don't wash our dirty linen in public. But if you are watching and you are in this situation and you are a victim of domestic violence, you don't have to stay with your spouse. Some wives stay with their husbands because the husbands are either U.S. citizens or permanent residents, and the wives are waiting to get their green card. With VAWA, you don't have to wait because you can self-petition.
Right, that's exactly right, and that's one of the big aspects of VAWA is the self-petitioning aspect, that you don't have to involve the abuser in getting your permanent residency, and you can basically take that person out of the picture. So that gives the woman the opportunity to leave the situation without having to feel like she's losing something or losing the ability to stay in the United States, maybe even stay with her children.
Right.
Oftentimes abusers will threaten the person to say, if you do something, I'm going to go to immigration, I'm going to have you removed or deported. And so what VAWA does is gives you an opportunity to do something with your life that take yourself out of that position and stabilize your situation in the United States.
Yeah, you don't have to feel trapped, and then at the same time, it's very confidential. So if you're worried about confidentiality, or if you're worried about your spouse finding out that you're doing this behind his back, he doesn't have to know. The government won't send him anything, right? Any notice.
That's right. This is completely confidential. Any information that you provide to the government is given in the strictest of confidence. Now, as I said, the abuser is not involved in the process at all. He's not contacted, not questioned whatsoever. There's no way for him to know or her to know whether or not anything has been done, and so this is again is something that protects a woman in an abusive situation and gives her more comfort in coming forward and saying, I'm going to present information to the government about my status, which is illegal perhaps, and about this person who is abusing me.
Now, what is required? I mean, how do you prove domestic violence? Pictures or police report? How do you do that?
Well, one of the other things that VAWA did was sort of create a kind of a large window of things that can be used. Basically, any credible evidence can be used. So, you know, our office deals with cases that are perhaps heavily documented with police reports, restraining orders, hospital reports, psychological reports, therapy reports, or just statements from the witnesses because the person hasn't had the opportunity to do those things. Sometimes they haven't gone to the police, they haven't done anything because they just feel so trapped.
Right.
So it runs the whole gamut, but basically any credible evidence can be used to substantiate your
And that's why you need a lawyer to help you with this. That's information on the screen. They give consultation. That's the number to call. Also email and phone, face-to-face consultation. But Richard, is it automatic? Because there is another relief to them, which is the U visa, if they can't self-petition, right? Or is it pretty much the same?
Yeah, so one of the things that VAWA did on its reauthorization in 2000 I think, is they expanded who this can cover. So the self-petitioning was available for people who were in a marital situation, that is, you're married to an abuser. But there are many women and men who are in situations where they haven't been married, and they've just been living with this person, and that they have problems with domestic violence. And the U visa is an opportunity for those people to come forward against their abuser and also get relief. The U visa isn't exactly permanent residency immediately, but it gives them a time to be here for 3 years, and if everything's fine in 3 years, then they can become permanent residents.
All right, so that is good, and that is why, like I said earlier, you need a lawyer to help you navigate through the legal system as well. That's the information on the screen. Thank you so much for sharing information with us. One thing I want to note, though, VAWA, so Violence Against Women Act, but you mentioned women or men that are in abusive relationships, so men can also come forward. Information on the screen. Thank you, and more power to you.
Thank you.
Financial advice when we return on the show. Don't go away.